Welcome to week 10 of the Yoga4Health program brought to you by the Yoga in Healthcare Alliance. This is the last class in the program and our theme is connection. When we run this program as a group class, one of the really important things we do is support members of the group to feel really safe and to get to know each other and to go on a journey together. And obviously that aspect is missing when we just work online. However, there are other ways in which we can think about the idea of connection and this program. So by doing the 10-week program and knowing that hundreds, possibly by now thousands of NHS patients have also done the program, gives you a connection to them through that, and through your home practice and your ongoing yoga practice at home, following the program and the principles and the skills you've learned over the 10 weeks, you're also connecting yourself to that yoga community, and we welcome contact from you via the email that's at the end of every class and via our Yoga in Healthcare Alliance website and social media. So please stay in touch and let us know how you're doing. The word yoga means union. It means a yoking together. And traditionally, that meant bringing together the body and the mind, with the two being connected via breath, which is why yoga is always a breath-led practice. And so over the 10 weeks, you may have noticed the sense of greater connection that you feel within your physical body, all the awareness you develop through the posture work of the different joints and muscles, and the heightened awareness you have of sensations in your body. And you may also have noticed a greater sense of connection in the mind to a place that is a little more unchanging and still. So often if we're suffering from stress or anxiety, the mind can be very scattered. And what a yoga practice does very effectively, and this practice in particular, is aimed at helping you to find, through the breath work, those moments of stillness and connection within yourself, so that you just feel more settled and happy and able to function in the present moment without so much anxiety about the past or the future. And yoga also fosters a greater sense of connection to others in the way that we live, the principles by which we live of compassion and caring and kindness and non-violence. And also perhaps a wider connection through our families and our communities to our wider world and the environment. And one of the ways we like to think about that on this course is the way in which we are all connected to nature, the way in which plants and trees absorb carbon dioxide and give off the oxygen that we need to breathe, and the process for plants reverses at night. So the whole planet is one connected ecosystem of which we are a part, and sensing that wholeness and connection can really help us to look after ourselves, look after those around us, but also look after the planet. So in this final class, we'll continue to work with the coherent breath, and we'll work with the theme of connection. And at the end of the class, I'll talk a little bit about how you can continue your yoga journey. So take a moment now to be still, to close your eyes or have your eyes downcast, and really notice how you're feeling at the beginning of this last Yoga4Health class. Notice any parts of the body that you need to take special care of, and make sure you use all the modifications and variations that you've got used to using over the previous 9 weeks to really make your yoga practice connecting and nourishing for yourself. And then begin to tune into your breath, if possible breathing in and out through the nose, and allowing a sense of equal inhale and exhale to begin to emerge in your own breathing, even before we put on the chime track. So inhaling smoothly and fully to a comfortable limit, bringing forward last week's work and your week of home practice on noticing the beginning, the middle and the end of the in-breath, and a smooth flowing exhale through the nose, noticing the beginning, middle and end of the exhale, so that you have this flowing equal breath. And now we're just going to spend a minute or so breathing with the chimes before we start our physical practice. We're going to start our practice now by bringing the palms together, and as you hear the in-breath chime separating the arms and exhale bringing the palms together, letting the simple movement represent inhaling, opening up, and exhaling, reconnecting as we touch the palms together. And then releasing your arms down, floating the arms up with in-breath, following the chimes, and exhale, lowering the arms. Breathing up from the earth to which we are connected, breathing back down to the earth to feel an enhanced sense of that connection. Through your breath, through your practice, nourishing the connection within your body and with your breath. So releasing the shoulders now, and then coming into our side stretch, reaching up and exhaling and feeling the connection between the arm, the shoulder, the sides of the body and the pelvis. Everything is connected in our yoga practice. The different parts of the body that we move, the awareness and focus of the mind connecting into that movement, and the breath creating the backdrop of steadiness and stillness through the coherent breathing rhythm, almost like the the cotton thread in a tapestry, weaving everything together. Body and mind woven together on the breath, creating connection. Circling into the shoulders now. Connecting to softness and release. Letting go of tension and restriction. And coming into the neck stretch. And releasing and doing the neck stretch and head turn on the other side. As we move into our seated twist, allowing the body to be still in the seated twist position, feeling the connections all the way up from the pelvis through the spine to the upper chest and the neck where all the twisting is taking place. And turning the head into the room, noticing the connections in the body as we move. Noticing the connection to breath. And exhaling around to the other side. Into our back bend. The modern world is so full of opportunities to connect through social media, the internet, Zoom, and yet it can still seem very fragmented and disconnected. And actually what yoga is telling us is that the really profound connection has to be in place, the connection within yourself to your body, breath and mind, in order to make use of all these other opportunities to connect. Otherwise it can feel overwhelming and dissonant. So first nurture these connections and this sense of connection within yourself through your practice. And then continuing to work in the chair or down on the mat, noticing your new sense of connection to the floor, and then taking the palms onto the abdomen and connecting your breath to the activation of your lower abdominal muscles, the core support for your posture, for your lower back, drawing those lower abdominals in as you exhale. And taking that movement and combining it with the inhale, arms up and overhead, and exhale back to the abdomen and drawing in to seal and really feel that zipping up, that connectedness through the center of the body. release from the pose. And we're doing our knee circling or upper body circling, connecting the upper part of the body to the lower part of the body through the center of gravity of the body at the abdomen and hips, and strengthening those areas as we connect and work them. Just keeping a steady, coherent breathing rhythm, breathing with the chimes. We're just using the chimes as a backdrop to your equal inhale and exhale. Mobilizing the right and now the left ankle. And then stretching into the pelvis by drawing the thigh in, on, and exhale, releasing the arms to straight as you breathe in. Let's find the version of this practice that has been working for you. Comparing sides. And then working the other leg in the same way. Doing a little bit more strengthening work, exhaling, drawing the abdominals in, feeling the pelvis lift slightly, and if you're in the chair, exhaling, drawing up all the muscles around the pelvis and releasing them as you breathe in. And then circling into the hips to open the hip joints. After 10 weeks of doing broadly the same sequence each week, you've become so familiar that we are really in the zone of a breath-led mindfulness practice. And my instructions are only fairly sparse, whereas our connection was very directional in the early weeks to help you understand each of the practices. Now it's just suggestions about integrating breath and theme within this very familiar sequence of movements. And in that way you are gathering benefits and skills that are much more subtle than the ones you developed in the early weeks of the course. So really effortlessly tense on the inhale, release on the exhale as you move your arms with the coherent breath. Find that profound sense of connection of body, mind and breath as you practice. Of all the classes we do in the 10 weeks, it's this one, it's this theme that most closely represents the traditional and classical purpose of yoga, of drawing the mind towards a single point of focus and really feeling connected with the essence of ourselves. Enjoy the softness, enjoy the stillness. Enjoy your breath and the connection you feel. Moving now in and out of your chosen spinal twist with the breath, allowing the coherent breathing rhythm to conduct the body as you move into spinal twist on the right side and then the left side. And then taking that twist into the held position and finding your deepest connection to breath. As you have that experience of the body not moving to the external eye, but inside with each inhale and exhale, you can sense the lift and space of the in-breath and the softening and the release of the out-breath as you connect to the most subtle aspects of release in the twist. And as we cross crawl, make this movement as elegant, as mindful, as smooth as you can. Let the arm going overhead, the knee coming in over the chest and stretching up. Be as smooth as your inhale and your exhale. Feel as if the in-breath breathes the leg and the arm into their position. The out-breath releases them. The connection between body and breath is so close, it cannot be separated. Take your appropriate version of this hip flexor strengthener, raising and lowering with the breath, maintaining that steadiness around the lower abdomen, around the lower back as you work, so that the moving part of the body remains connected to the still point, the foundation for the movement. now into our pelvic tilt. Subtly notice the way the pelvis as it moves and the way it connects down through the legs to the floor and up through the spine to the head. That even these subtle movements of pelvic rocks have a profound effect on the connections above and below. And then, without anything under the back of the head if you're on the mat, moving from that pelvic tilt, just a smooth exploration and development of the same movement, but this time engaging the thigh muscles, lifting the pelvis and rolling down the spine as you breathe out, or finding the same spinal opening from the chair on inhale and releasing on exhale. Emphasizing the connection between every vertebra of your spine. And then holding and maintaining with your breath this open-hearted, the back bend and the way in which the back bend connects all the areas of the spine into a single integrated arch. Stretching the right leg now with the belt. Again, allowing the rhythm of your coherent breath, your equal inhale and exhale, to choreograph, moving in and out of the stretch, easing into the space in the back of the leg without strain, without forcing, keeping the connection to that leg, your mind and your breath. And then pausing between sides, being aware of what you sense in the right leg, the shift in connection between the released and the non-released leg, and then repeating our practice on the left side. This methodical and patient and slow and mindful process of working through each part of the body in turn also has this long-term effect of knitting together each part of the body into a whole, into a sense of our whole embodied self, and a stronger sense of physical as well as mental and emotional connection. Continuing to open the hip now with thread the needle, finding the version you've been using that is safe for your knee. And part of the result of this heightened sense of connection to the body is a greater willingness to do the practice that is absolutely right for us. The more we're letting go of any ego-led drive to do more when actually less is more for where we are right now. Releasing from the practice and coming into the version of cat that is right for you. And in cat, more than any other practice, we feel the connection along the whole of the spine and through the pelvis. And we often need to keep our practice focus on the middle part of the back, the stiffest part, to create a connection up to the more mobile head and neck and the more mobile lower back below. And then taking your lunge using the chair or a padded knee on the floor, or just taking one leg to the side if you're working in the chair. Connecting and acknowledging the contraction, the reduction in space that we experience from a lot of chair sitting, and moving in the other direction, moving into space as we do our lunge, rebalancing and reconnecting with space in an area that is often denied space. And then if you're able to continue on the floor, working on your front or staying in the chair, as we begin to strengthen the back with a dynamic chair sphinx pose, or resting on the forearms with the elbows in front or below the shoulders for the more flexible. Use your breath here to really soften the upper back on exhale. Keeping the front of the pelvis on the mat, keeping the length and space and comfort in the lower back. The counter poses between the practices are really important in the back bending work, and we're really reconnecting back to the balance of our own breath. And then continuing with the strength work, raising and lowering on inhale and exhale. Taking rest whenever you need to, taking counter pose whenever you need to through this back strengthening sequence. releasing once more, and then coming into our final back strengthener. If you're working in the chair, tensing and relaxing the glutes, the outer hip muscles with the breath. If you're on the mat, keeping the pelvis and the forehead supported, and raising and lowering the straight leg. So we've made connection to all of the back muscles, the upper back, the mid back, and now the lower back and hip muscles, all the muscles connecting together that are so important for back care and posture. Lifting with the inhale chime, lowering with the exhale chime. And now working into your downward dog, using the 4 breath sequence. Inhale up, exhale come up, inhale in the pose, exhale down, whether you're working on the mat or in the chair, and knowing that you can rest the hands on the seat or the back of the chair in a safe way if you need to take the weight out of the wrists or the shoulders. Continue to let the body be led by your equal inhale and equal exhale in the coherent breathing rhythm. As we come to the end of downward dog, you can exhale into alternate heels if you want to add in a little bit of leg stretching to this pose, and then come down and take some rest. And now, mobilizing the wrists, releasing the shoulders after the weight bearing work in the cat and the dog. Continuing to connect to your coherent breathing rhythm. Fully exploring the breath, rolling the shoulders back, drawing the arms out wide, up and overhead, and exhale down to the hips and the feet, working with your coherent breath and beginning to awaken the feet by lifting the toes as you breathe in, lowering them as you breathe out, and raising the heels and lowering those as you breathe out. Noticing this enhanced sense of connection to the breath. And then coming into our sun salutations, always the opportunity to do 5 rounds, but you may find that fewer than 5 is what you need. Or you could do 3 standing, 2 in a chair. But most of all this week, simply allow yourself to follow your breath, to follow the coherent rhythm, and to allow your body to be led in and out of each movement, finding that real sense of meditation in movement as you draw and connect the body, the breath, and the focus of your mind. continuing to breathe and move in harmony, in connection. Losing yourself in the practice of the sun salutations, losing yourself in the perfect connection of body, breath and mind, and in losing yourself actually finding a deeper sense of connection to something more still and steady. And now we're moving on into Warrior One on the right side. Opening and closing the body with the breath. And Warrior One is a physical practice that contains this attitude of courage, of stepping forward on the in-breath, of opening the heart, the front of the chest, of sending out a message that you are ready to connect with those in the world outside you, but doing so from a place of strength and courage and grounding. And then after pausing to noticing the effects of that practice, coming into Warrior Two. And while Warrior One is very much about stepping forward and then moving back, Warrior Two is about extending and turning to look to the future, finding the vision of the future, and then exhaling and connecting back to the sense of our presence right here, right now. And in the way we move in and out of this pose, having the grace and the fluidity and the confidence to stretch the hand out, to have that sense of moving into the future with confidence in our own connection within our body, our breath and our mind. Feel the ground beneath your feet. Feel the connection to the earth. Feel the steadiness and strength of your own presence, and use that to nourish your sense of feeling really grounded right here in this moment. And then taking a moment to reflect before we move on to doing our balance. This can be dynamic or static. Just really choose the balance you would like to do today in this last class. Any of the forms being shown. There's no need to chop and change. Just pick a simple heron moving balance, or a static heron, or a static version of the tree with or without the support of the wall or a chair. Find that more challenging connection to the earth through the single standing leg. Find the connection within yourself to hold yourself in balance, letting this physical balance be a reflection of the inner balance of the mind and the inner balance of the breath. And then to complete the practice, to make our final connections, taking your restorative, gentle inversion, reversing gravity by lifting the legs, raising the hips, supporting the back of the head, and using this posture to take stock of how you're feeling and your sense of connection in your body, your breath and your mind. Releasing from that pose into your chosen relaxation posture. If seated, stay awake and treat as a guided meditation. Otherwise, any comfortable position that's right for you, any supports you may need. Make yourself as comfortable as possible. And my colleague Leanne Antonia will lead you through the week 10 relaxation.
We are going to practice a form of Yoga Nidra. Yoga Nidra means yogic sleep. It's often used as a way to allow us to relax and to allow us to more clearly understand who we are. This particular version is about further creating a sense of connection with the cosmos. Make sure you're comfortable. Take your time to lie down and relax into a position that works for you. Of course, if you prefer being in a chair, that's always an option. Close your eyes and start to notice your natural breathing. Your breath is with you as it is. Just allow yourself to follow your natural breath. Listen to sounds in the distance. Listen to the sounds close to you. Maybe just listen to the sound of your own breathing. Allow me to guide you. I am going to say things, and your job is to just listen and follow. I am going to name parts of your body and tell you to imagine a star shining on that part of your body. You'll need to direct your attention to that part of your body and repeat in your mind everything I say right after I say it. also whilst imagining doing what I ask. For example, there is a shining star on the right palm. A star is shining on the right palm. You will direct your attention to your right palm and repeat this in your own mind. There is a star on the right palm. A star is shining on the right palm. Let's begin now. There is a star shining on the right hand palm. A shining star on the right hand palm. There is a star shining on the back of the right hand. A shining star on the back of the lower arm. A bright, shiny gold star. There is a gold star shining on the front of the lower arm. There is a star on the back of the right upper arm. A shining star. There is a gold star shining on the front of the right upper arm. There is a star shining on the right shoulder. The right shoulder has a shining gold star. A shining star in the right armpit. A star on the right side of your body. A star shining on the right hip. A star shining on the top of the right thigh. A shining star on the back of the right thigh. A star on the right knee. A star on the right calf. A gold shining star on the right shin. A shining star on the top of the right foot. A shining star on the bottom of the right foot. There is a star shining on the left hand palm. A shining star on the left hand palm. There is a star shining on the back of the left hand. A star shining on the back of the left lower arm. A bright, shiny gold star. There is a gold star shining on the front of the left lower arm. There is a star on the back of the left upper arm, a shining star. There is a gold star shining on the front of the left upper arm. There is a shining star on the left shoulder. The left shoulder has a shining gold star. A shining star in the left armpit. A star on the left side of the body. A star shining on the left hip. A star shining on the top of the left thigh. A shining star on the back of the left thigh. A star on the left knee. A star shining on the top of the left thigh. A star on the left calf. A gold shining star on the left shin. A shining star on the top of the left foot. A shining star on the bottom of the left foot. There is a shining star on your lower back, a gold shining star. There is a star on the middle back. There is a star placed on your upper back. There is a shining star on your left shoulder blade. A shining star on your right shoulder blade. A star on the back of your neck. A star on your lower belly. A gold shining star, rising and falling with each and every breath. A star on your upper belly. A star on your right chest. A shining star on your left chest. There is a star on the front of your neck. A shining star on your chin. There is a gold shining star on your right cheek. A shining gold star on your left cheek. A gold star on your nose. A shining star on your forehead. A star, a gold shining star on the top of your head. A star on the back of your head. The whole body is shining. The whole body is shining with beautiful gold stars. The whole body is shining. Now direct your attention to your breath. You don't need to repeat after me in your mind now. Just notice your breath. You are going to count backwards from 20 as you notice your breath. Something like this. Belly rising, 20. Belly falling, 20. Belly rising, 19. Belly falling, 19. If you lose count, just start again at 20. And if you finish counting before I speak again, start again at 20. Begin now. Cease counting and just listen to the sound of my voice. Tell yourself in your head, I am finishing the practice of Yoga Nidra. The practice of Yoga Nidra is almost complete. Bring your attention to the sounds in the distance. Bring your attention to sounds closer to you from within the room you are in. Feel yourself breathing again. Just notice your breath. We are now done with the practice of Yoga Nidra. Whenever you are ready, gently come up as you see fit. There is no reason to rush. And maybe you'll take this opportunity now to have a few moments of breathing practice, or to simply just be.
Continue to breathe using the coherent breathing rhythm, but keeping the softness of your relaxation. And if you'd like to do the final breathing practice in your relaxation pose, you can do that. And if you'd prefer to sit up for a last few minutes of breathing, then please come up and either sit back on your chair or cross-legged on your mat. And then allow yourself to tune into the breath and to tune in to the sound of the chimes, and allow the chimes to cue your breath. Equal inhale and exhale. And now take a moment to notice how you feel and allow your breath to return to its own natural rhythm. Notice any sense of connection in your body, your mind, your breath. And then when you're ready, if you've been working with the eyes closed, blinking, open the eyes. Thank you very much for completing the week 10 class and for completing all 10 weeks of the Yoga4Health social prescribing program. You're probably wondering how to carry on with your yoga practice, and we really hope that you feel empowered by all the different yoga tools and techniques that we've given you in your little yoga personal toolbox. And we would urge you just to continue with your regular home practice, daily if possible, even if only for a very short time, maybe just some breathing before bed if you're short of time, and a regular longer practice if possible. And you probably know what you like to do and what works for you, so use those practices both on the mat and in everyday life. And feel free to share the practices that work for you with friends, family, colleagues, particularly the breathing practices of inhaling and long exhale down to the ground, which you will remember are so effective at combating stress and anxiety and promoting relaxation. And also the coherent breathing that you've been working with for the past 3 weeks, which is so effective at supporting resilience. You can continue to do these classes via the Yoga and Healthcare Alliance YouTube channel, and you can also find a wealth of resources at yogaandhealthcarealliance.com, where if you haven't already registered as a patient practitioner, you can do so, and that will give you access to over 40 videos of different practices themed around all 10 weeks, some in a chair, some on a mat, long and short, and also some breathing videos if you want to revise any of the techniques. You can contact us via the email at the end of this video, and we'd love to hear from you. But we hope it's really helped to support your health, and we love your feedback if you'd like to share either here in the comments box below or by contacting us directly. So thanks once again. It's been a pleasure to have created these videos for you, and I hope they continue to support you in a healthy and happy life. Bye.